Hey, this is your girl Forever Trina coming back at you with another Married at First Sight review. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back, fam. Appreciate the love and appreciate you. So let's get into it. Tonight's episode is entitled Mighty Boston Bonds. This is episode 10. So I'm going to sort as usual. I'll start with, I'll start with who I have the least amount about. Because that's why I said, actually I got about the same amount for everyone. But it looks like Noy and Steve. Those are the ones I typically have the least amount about. And then Lindsay and Mark. And we'll go on to the others. So let's start with Noy and Steve. So I started off with the visit from Dr. Viviana. They were talking about how Noy doesn't verbalize her feelings. She shut down when she's upset. In the past, she would lash out at guys and say whatever came to her mind when she was upset. And when she said that, I said, that remind me of myself. And before I move forward, the glasses. I know y'all probably looking at me and I'm probably gonna hear it in the comments. Yes, these are fake glasses. And yes, they do not have a lens. I have this eye situation going on and I don't have my eye doctor appointment until Saturday. Yes, it's a Saturday appointment. Dr. Singh is in on Saturday. And he's gonna check this out. So I was trying to distract y'all. Hopefully it's distracting enough. Is it distracting enough? Yes, no. Either way, judge your mama. This is what we're going with tonight. Back to my review. So Noy was talking about how she would just say whatever came to mind in the past when she was upset with a guy. And I actually thought, like, shoot, I used to do that too. I wouldn't, if you made me upset, I'll say whatever. It did not matter. It was not filtered at all. Like I wasn't a Lindsay. I ain't gonna go to that level, but I did dig and I hit all the way below the belt. I took the belt is what I did. So when she said that, I said, "Oh, Trina, you used to do that." I have since changed. I am redeemed. I am a model wife. But it just kind of got me when she said that. I was like, you used to do that, girl. And so also in this scene, Steve, the one thought was like, Steve is so rational. Like he has this calmness about him, and he's very, like I said before, he's very methodical, and he's very just like, he's matter of fact, but he just has a lot of reason behind the things he does and the things that he says. And so one thing that he said was, this will not be sustainable if this doesn't change. If she's not able to express her emotions, if she suppresses them, if every time there's an issue, she runs for the hills. He's like, nah, I'm not doing that with you, Noy. So that absolutely has got to be fixed. You need to verbalize your feelings within 24 hours, not go away for 24 hours and then come back. No, within a small time frame, or at least express, you know what, I need a moment. Because I have to do that for me, or I'm going to start doing that. I'm trying to, implement some new things for myself in my marriage. So if I know whatever's going to come out my mouth is not going to be fruitful and productive and build him up, I say, hey, or I will say, like I said, I'm just implementing this. Give me a moment. I need time to process this, and then we can get back together. So I think it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that I cannot talk in this moment. Or even if you're in the midst of a conversation and you're just like, you just feel that anger just rising up in you, and you just about to be like, about to jump on that dude or whatever. It's like, it's okay to say, can we just pause? Like in a corporate setting, let's table this. That's usually the what we say. Let's table this for later. And we'll get back to it. So I think she just needs to be able to verbalize her feelings. And if she can't do it in that moment, at least say, hey, let's just pause on this. I'll get back to it. This is bothering me. I'm not really sure how to articulate it at this moment, but it's not you, it's me. Let's go with that. So I think that's all Steve is really looking for. And that's just healthy communication in general. And so the next question was, what would build trust in Noy with him? And I was wondering when the conversation about jobs would come back up. This is the episode for it. So what would build trust for Noy is him having a plan, a concrete plan is what she said. And so his question was, do you doubt that I'm capable of making money. And it's like, Steve, well, we doubt you a little bit, but we doubt you a little bit. We need a concrete plan. Noy needs a plan. She just wants to see it. Even if, like, bring in a financial advisor and let her just see where your finances are, where her finances are, how you're going to make this thing work. I think she just needs more visibility to what's in your head. It needs to be down on paper. So that's kind of where she is. And then something that he said was just like, well, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm keeping the home, is that not secure enough for her? And I'm just like, so you trying to be a house husband? Is that what you want to do? I mean, whatever you want to do, just express that. Because the last time I heard, well, I got these side gigs going on. And now this time it sounds like you want to be a house husband. So I'm just like, so what we doing? Like, just let her know. Let us know. We just want to know. That's all. We just want to be in the know, Steve. Like, I get it. I don't know. I don't know what the resistance is. And maybe there's more conversation outside of what we see. But I don't know what the resistance is with him fully disclosing what his plan is, unless he doesn't have one. I mean, that could be the case, which is why she a little insecure and not feeling secure in the relationship, and where there's a lack of trust. So definitely they need to explore that area, because I was definitely like, really, Steve, you being super ambiguous right now. I don't like you right now. Like, this is really pissing me off, because you're literally like, it was almost like gaslighting. So you don't trust my ability to, be able to make money. I mean, yeah, I don't trust it. What's your next question? Just give. So Steve, he got me a little bit with that, just because the answer the question with the question, or I don't know, just they need to get that together. I feel that they can work, but this is definitely a sticking point. Her emotions, and she need to get that under control, and his resistance against getting a job. And one thing, if to say he wants to be a house husband, say he wants to take care of the kids in the house and all that good stuff. She's not used to that. That's not her idea of what she's grown up seeing. She's grown up seeing either mom and dad go to work, or at least daddy going to work. So this new dynamic or new look to what a family looks like is not, she's not down for that. Just like how she's holding on to them 3 kids, which I really feel she can compromise on that one. But just the whole, you not gonna go outside, you ain't gonna work, like you just gonna be cleaning the house. So that part, that's kind of flipping her world upside down of all her expectations of what a family and what a marriage looks like. That was what I almost forgot. This ninja said, well, let's test this out. So if I was to get a job, that means the cooking and the cleaning and having the house all together, that wouldn't happen anymore, because right now you not doing that. I said, Steve, okay, I ain't even gonna begin with, I ain't gonna start with you. I was just like, you are holding the job for ransom. Like, you holding it hostage, like, before I do this, well, let's see what you can do. Can you clean? Because, I mean, you need to see how this going to work. If you can even do that, like, prove to me that we can do this before I do that. And I was just like, Steve, that ain't how it works, boo. And so I was just really like, really, Steve? We going there? Like, you pulling out your rabbit, your hat, your bag of tricks? I was just like, bruh, okay, whatever. Moving along. So the 5 senses exercise. So I forgot how all this, I don't know if there were questions, but I just wrote down different notes. Like, there was a body shot. Steve was like, I've had a few body shots in my day. I was just like, have you now? Mm-hmm. And Noy was acting like she ain't never had no body shot. She may not have. I don't know. I ain't never done no body shot. That's me. So maybe Noy like me, and we just ain't do no body shot. But I don't think I would have done it like if, say, it was something that, me and my husband were trying or something like that, I'm down for it. She was acting all like, I ain't never do this before. Oh my gosh. It wasn't that serious, Noy. Just drink the dog. I don't know. Was that a shot glass that it looked like a cap. And then it go in her mouth. She was about to choke. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see that right. But I was just like, that don't look like no shot glass. that looked like a cat, or like to an orange juice bottle or something. I don't know, like, you know, like the Simply Lemonade, them orange juice bottles. That's what it looked like. And so I was just like, okay. But anyway, so they did the body shot. Noy's I guess they were just talking about different things that they would want to do. And so she was like taking no, this was Steve. Steve was like taking a shower together. Noy's acting kind of slow about that one too. She was like, so he just wants to take a shower just like so we can get clean. No, girl, you know what's up. Like Amani and Woody, they just took showers together. That's how they got intimate before they had sex. Girl, stop playing. You already know what's up. And then Noy was like, she wouldn't mind having sex in public, and Steve was like, oh, it was kind of surprising. He wouldn't have guessed that from her. So one thing Steve said, he was like, I don't know if he said this or if I made this up in my head. He was just like, I love to help, you know, people fulfill their sexual fantasies. I was like, oh, really now? So he said, but, you know, I got some ideas in my head, but I just need to make sure that they're safe, you know, and we can do them. I was just like, Steve, you just got so many things that you hold your cards to your chest really tight, and your job, you hold that tight, and these sexual fantasies that you're willing to fulfill, you hold that really tight. I would not have guessed that out of you, but hey, you like it, I love it. So that's all I have about Noy and Steve. So we are going to move on to Lindsay and Mark. So with Lindsay and Mark, the scene that I first have notes about is Lindsay had a virtual call with her friend. So she's talking about Mark. I'm tired of Lindsay complaining about Mark, because I'm just like, Mark has a lot more to complain about, and you hear him say stuff in his Mark way, but you just complain and complain and complain without any self-reflection, and it's annoying. So I think this episode I was more annoyed with Lindsay than anything, because I felt several times where I was just like, my mouth was screwed up, like, because when I was doing a little sex game, I think the whole time I was just like, what y'all doing? Like, why y'all keep laughing? Like, that was the whole time. I just was not, but maybe it was just the scene. You could tell they were a little awkward. At least Mark, he was really more awkward with it. And then Lindsay just being Lindsay. Ugh. Anyway, she was talking to her girlfriend about, you know, sex. She's not happy. They did a little quickie. She wasn't satisfied. She was just like, oh, he wants to be all intimate. And that's when he said, you know, before he can really, you know, have sex again, he needs to build emotion, be more emotional, and blah, 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 blah. And she was just like, well, what was the quickie about? That had no emotion in it. So she was kind of just complaining about him, how she wasn't satisfied. I did like the friend's toaster analogy. She was just like, well, Mark may be the type of guy that before he puts the toast in the toaster, he want to take the toast apart. He want to see how it operates. He want to see how it works. He want to see what plugs in here and how it's heated and conducted and all the other little things that go on, and then put it back together. And then he put his toast in. I said, I could get with that. And so she was like, basically, slow down, chick. Like, back off. Like, you're a lot. So she was just like, tone it down a little bit. So I was like, yay, friend. High five, girlfriend. I'm liking you. So hopefully she'll take that into consideration. But it was nice to hear that from the friend. So Dr. Viviana, she was over there. Lindsay was just like, hope she ain't allergic to cats. Well, dang it, it's too late now. She already on the way. She outside. So I think, you know, probably should have asked that before, but just that comment in itself, I think right now everything is irritating me about her. When she breathes hard, I'm just like, why are you breathing? Stop. So she's just really getting to me at this moment. But yeah, just that comment, I was just like, it's too late now. Why would you even make that comment? Whatever. And then Dr. Viviana, when she got in there, she was just like, so how do you feel about your marriage? And then both of them just laughing. I was just like, y'all just gonna laugh? It was kind of like in one of the earlier episodes when they were just like, who consummated their marriage, and Lindsay, I'm like, bitch, say something. It's not funny. It's a question. Answer the question. Did you hear the question? We're not. It's not a comedy show. It was just annoying because they both. It was just annoying. Again, everything's annoying me about her, and this is just one of the things where they both were freaking laughing. Like, Mark, don't join in. Just sit there like you usually do with your big eyes. My gosh. So I think they finally, they may have gotten it out and moved on. I can't even remember. But anyway, the intimacy conversation came up. Lindsay stated again she's not happy. And Dr. Viviana was just like, so do you want to be intimate with your husband? Do you want to have that intimacy in y'all's relationship? She was like, yeah, of course. And she was like, well, stop being so effing rude. That's what you're doing. He's not going to want to be with you. He don't want to be with you because you're rude. You say whatever comes to your mind, and it's rude. Do you not understand that? It is rude it's rude AF. And she doesn't see that. So I'm glad. One thing I did appreciate about Dr. Viviana in this episode, it seemed she was calling people out on their ish. And I was like, thank you. Call them out. And then some of them with different couples, they were playing clips like, this is when you did this. And then the clip play in the background. I'm just like, yeah. So it's just like, Lindsay, stop being so effing rude. And then maybe he wants to light your fire. You ever think about that? Anyway, so I'm glad she said that because I was really like, yo. But again, stop being rude. Don't be so dang hurtful and stop hitting below the belt. Like, don't hit below the belt. And so one thing that Lindsay said, because I did watch the after show came on early this time, because usually it's the time I'm doing my video. I got about an hour because they get that little, the K Michelle little body show comes on. So I got an hour to do my video, then I could watch the after show. This time the after show came on right after. So I was like, dang it. So I watched that a little bit. No, I think I watched the whole thing. And so she was saying, because they were just like, yo, like the things that you said, like at the bowling alley, that was not cool at all. And so she was just like, well, usually I would say all that to a girlfriend to get it out, to a girlfriend, just to get everything out unfiltered, just blah, just get, just diarrhea of the mouth all over the girlfriend, and then take, I guess, the rest of it to Mark. I feel she would have said that to Mark, but she was just like, it just so happened it was caught on, the audio was caught. So I understand. I don't like taking up for this chick. I don't. But I see that rationale because me and some of my girlfriends, we do the same thing. We don't take everything to our husbands. We do not, because we can't. There's a lot of things that's inside of us that we want to say that if we said that to them, we'd probably be divorced. Yeah. And I don't say it it is not in a bad way. It's just like some of that stuff you just want to be when you're married, you do have to you have to have a filter, and you have to say things in a certain way, and things have to be, the timing of things have to be, just right. At least that's how it happens in my household. We still working through communication, but when you're upset and when you have a lot on your mind, you ain't got time for all that. You don't got time to be waiting for the right time. You gotta be waiting for the right tone, waiting for the right sentence. You don't got time. So you call your girlfriend up and you get that ish out, get it all out. So by the time your husband come home, you in a better place. So that's so what Lindsay is saying in that moment, like how she said that and how she was expressing that, I get it. Still don't like her, and I don't think I would say all that stuff, but I get the rationale behind what she did. I don't know if that was an excuse, but again, that's something that me and other women in my life practice. We get all that frustration out with each other so that the man is not getting the brunt of that. So again, I took up for her a little bit. That's going to be the last time I take up for her though. But anyway, basically, Dr. Viviana, stop being so dang on hateful. Stop hitting below the belt. We need to stop all that. They had a Nerf gun fight. Mark was funny. Mark was just like, She crazy when she laughs. She really is. And then she got the gun in her hand. I don't know if she gonna like kill me tonight. I was like, you might do need to watch out for that, Mark. Like for real. Next scene, they had like the basket of goodies, and so they had one thing that was in the basket was the silent treatment game. Mark was like, oh yes, oh my gosh, she ain't gonna talk, she can't talk. This game is about you being silent. What? Bet. I'm down for this. So part of the game, they had the ball gags in their mouth. Or the gag ball. I guess that's what you call it, gag ball. I ain't never done it before. So anyway. And I'm sure Mark, because Mark was just like, he was not trying to put that thing. She was like, no, you put it in your mouth. He was probably like, I know what you do, but I'm not doing it. So I guess he put it like right. I think he like closed his mouth. And it was halfway out his mouth. He was just like, I'm not doing it. I don't want no balls in my mouth. Like, that ain't how I roll. That's not what, but he did it. He's a good sport. I will say, Mark is a good sport. He will try things, even though he knows, he's just like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but I will try it. So I appreciate him, because some couples in the past, they be like, I don't want to do it. Like Keith and Iris. I liked Iris and I liked Keith, and I would have liked them as a couple. But looking back, Iris was very, she held her virginity as a badge of honor. It was just like, I've been a virgin all my life. And, it just became who she was. That was her identity. And she couldn't get past that. And so even when they try to do these intimacy games with them, she'd be like, I don't want to do that. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's funny. This is your husband, chick. So when I look back at it, I'm just like, you wasn't ready. You was still a little bit immature. Still like her. I follow her on social media. Love her. I love her vibe. I love, her spirit, her positivity and all that good stuff. But just relationship wise, just in what we've seen, it was just like Keith made the right decision. Because she just wasn't her. I don't know if he said sexual maturity just wasn't there, and he was like, I needed a little bit more there. So I was like, nah, I'm with you on that one. But where was I at? Just watching them, I just wasn't amused. Again, it might have just been Lindsay, and I just had my lip turned up the whole time. Like, I was just like, I don't like y'all. Well, I don't like you, Lindsay. So that's really all I had to say about them. One other thing, after the ladies had their little outing, Lindsay, I guess when they came back together after that, Lindsay was like, I want to be wooed. Mark was like, chick, I'm just trying to survive. You talking about wooing you? We'll get to that, but I'm in survival mode right now. I'm just trying to freaking breathe, because you are like, just, you all over me. You're suffocating me. Let me breathe. The wooing will come. It just ain't coming right now. So I know it's just like Lindsay's just like, I want this. But it's just like, are you listening to what your husband wants? He wants you to stop talking. He wants you to sit still. He wants you to take Adderall. He wants you to do a lot of things that you're not doing. So it's just like, you putting all this pressure on Mark. You need to do this, and I want you to do this, and I'm not happy here. And it's just like, but baby, how you contributing to that though, right? Like, it take two in a relationship, and I know you feel like you doing all, and like his life is so broken, and so you have to be there for him to pick up the pieces. But his life is really not all that broken. He got stuff going on, but it ain't like broken. The pieces that are broken probably involve you. So if you could just sit back and like see that might like make things go a little bit better, but. Yeah, not sure how it's gonna go. But anyway, so that's all I have about them. So let's move on to our next couple, which is Jasmina and Michael. So one of the first scenes with Jasmina and Michael is the question game. So one of the questions was, what can you do better? So Jasmina, talk to me. I'm about tired of her answering things. Talk to me, communicate. And I'm like, I'm gonna leave that alone right now. But he is. He's communicating. It's your butt that ain't. You talking about, it's basic communication. It's communication 101. 101. You need to go to class with him, boo. Because your communication skills are not up to par. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay. So, what can you do better? Talk to me is Jasmina's statement. Michael was, know that I'm not against you. Because that's how it comes off. Like, he says something. She's like, spitfire. Like, she's like ready to attack him as soon as something comes out his mouth. He's like, I can't get right to get right. So... sorry if the table is moving. I got a table underneath and my feet are kicking it. So sorry if the camera's moving. My bad. But so that was that. And I was just like, Jasmine, shut up. The next question was, have you been embarrassed? Is there something that you're embarrassed to tell your spouse? I think that was the question. That's how I heard the question. Is there something that you were embarrassed by or embarrassed to tell your spouse? Something like that, y'all. Anyway, Jasmina told some like little period story where she, you're younger, you don't know what your cycle doing, and you get your pants messed up, and someone someone saw it and exposed her. And so I guess when she told that story, I was just like, that was stupid. Like, was that the question? Maybe the question. I must have missed it. If I missed it, let me know if I missed that question. I'll probably watch it again, but not before this video goes out. And so maybe they said, maybe what has happened to you in childhood that was super embarrassing. Maybe that was the question, because then the way she answered it would make sense. But I thought it was the question was, what is something that you were embarrassed by that you're embarrassed to tell your spouse about, something like that. And so I was just like, I just thought that was a very surface level thing, and it was really trivial. So it just wasn't super exposing in my eyes. And so I don't know, I just kind of I turned my eye up at that one. But then Michael proceeded to tell his pee-pee boy story. And so I don't know if he was just reciprocating the type of story that Jasmina was telling, or maybe I just got the question wrong. Maybe I didn't understand the assignment, because in my head I'm just like, chick, you didn't understand the assignment. But it could be me. It could be me. So we're gonna let that one go. The next question was the physical feature about your partner that you really like. Jasmina was like, arms. I get it. I be liking arms too. And then Michael was like, smile. And I was just like, my husband likes my smile as well. So that was really cute. Dr. Viviana came over. Y'all, this conversation between them, it's just like, again, like, it's just like, he talks, she talks. She does interrupt him. So I do, on the catamaran, she did not interrupt him. Every other time after that, she interrupted him. I absolutely see that, because he says something, and before he can get it all the way out his mouth, she is cutting him off and saying whatever to basically disqualify what he just said. So what's the girl? Jasmina was talking about she wants to connect, because Dr. Viviana, I don't know why I call her Dr. V. Dr. Viviana, she asked about intimacy. And so Jasmina was like, I want intimacy before I can connect. No, I'm sorry. She wants to be able to connect with someone before she can be intimate with that person. If there's no connection, she was just like, my vagina is not getting wet for you. So the way they be playing these things, because they showed that clip on a preview, and I was like, did she just say that to him? Girl, you cannot say that to no man. So I thought she was literally saying to Michael, like, Michael, my vagina is not getting wet for you. And so I was like, whoa. But she was actually saying in full, the context was now behind it. If I don't have a connection, my vagina is not getting wet for you. So that I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm sure Michael still didn't take it well. I'm sure he's still like, because the way I feel that guys interpret things sometimes, this is how I would have interpreted it if I was Michael. Like, oh, since we don't have a connection, you're saying that you're not into me and you don't want to get intimate with me, and your vagina is not wet for me. So even though she said it in a generalized way, a guy would personalize that, which makes sense. I get it, but she didn't, and she would deny. I didn't say that about you. I said it in general. She said it very generalized, but she was talking about him. Mm-hmm. She was talking about him. So yeah, when she said that, I said, "Ooh, girl." But in her talking in that conversation, she keeps talking about this tone And I think I mentioned it last time, she has a tone. Her tone is very condescending, very know-it-all-ish. And that's how she comes off. Like, Michael seems, he's pretty calm, and for the most part, you can tell there's times when he gets, agitated, frustrated, all that. Makes sense. Somebody attacking me, that's gonna come out of me too. But she does speak with a very condescending tone to him. But she does it, it's almost like, 'cause I was talking to my one of my girlfriends, my cousin actually, and I was just like, yo, you would think I cussed this dude out. And she was just like, Trina, you know how we can do. We can say things really straight-laced, like really like calm, cool, collective. But the words that are being spoken it's almost like we cussing you out. We can cuss you out without cussing you out. So I was just like, Jasmina does that. She has that tone about her. It's all about your tone. And I know I got to work on that. I didn't realize. I was like, do I got a tone? But no, Jasmina does have a tone. She got a tone. Like, she talking about other people's tones. Like, Elijah, he got a tone. Jasmina, you got a tone too, girl. So, yeah, just that whole conversation, I was just like, yo, you are super condescending. But the conversation did end well. They ended up smiling, so that was good. But I do feel like Jasmina is stuck. She's stuck with what the sister said about him being negative. So everything before it even comes out of his mouth, she's like cutting it down, or already expecting it to be negative, already expecting it to go sideways. So she almost like, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It happens before it happens because it happened in her head. So she makes it happen in real life. So it's like, for Michael, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's kind of, it's really, really what it is for you right now. I'm sorry. But she does. She prejudges him before he even speaks. That's what she does. But Dr. Viviana, she actually offered them some good advice. I thought it was good because it's been advice that has been offered to me. Like, I'm a journaler. I love to journal. I love to write. That's how I get things out of my head. Because I will mull over a situation over and over and over. So journaling is therapeutic for me. And so journaling can also be used in this situation, in a situation of communicating, to just get all your thoughts out. And specifically for them, because Jasmina is always interrupting him. So it's just like, hey, just write down your thoughts and then come to me and just read them out, or come to each other and we can read them out together. Because there was a girlfriend, she had been married for 30 plus years. She mentioned that's what she does. She said to get all her thoughts out, she actually writes it down or writes an email. She sends to her husband. He reads it, or they get together and they discuss it. So I thought that was a really dope idea. And Jasmina shot that ish down. Like, she shot it down. Like, I'm not journaling. I don't feel like I have to journal. I could come to you and I can talk. I can speak. I don't know why we can't come together and speak as adults. Bitch, y'all ain't been doing it yet. She was basically just saying, this is a new method to try because what you're trying is not working. And this is why it's not working. Are you serious? I was like, yo, Jasmina, do you hear yourself right now? And I really hope she watches this again and sees how she really is, because she is oblivious to how she reacts and speaks to people, speaks to him specifically. The chick is very negative. I'm going to say that later. It was like when the girls had their little outing together, one of my notes was, yo, you are negative AF up in here. Like, you negative. You talking about him, you worried about him, what about you? So I was like, yo, Jasmina, give this dude a chance. It's not like he pulled it out his tail. Dr. Viviana gave it to y'all. And so he was like, I can give a F about the activity. I'm just trying to try something new so that we don't, so we can stop arguing. Because this right here, this is not working. That's why I need to write it down right now. Let me write this down right now. Jasmine is getting my damn nerves. I can't stand this chick right now. She don't let me talk. She always cut me off. That's what he's trying to write on a piece of paper, because you're not letting him talk. My gosh. She got to me. She just doesn't listen. She's not open to the activity. She was just like, it should be you speak, I speak. But it's not working for y'all. And so at this point, I'm like, Michael, I don't even know what to tell you, boo. I don't know what to tell you, because Jasmina is, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. That's all I got to say is I'm sorry. So their next scene was the tantric yoga, which I thought was really cool because the one thing that Dr. Viviana was talking about was like, do y'all touch? Do like touch hands, touch in the bed, like kiss each other, like anything? They're like, no, we don't do nothing. We hardly look at each other, honestly. So they did tantric yoga to kind of, bring about that closeness, which was really cool. Actually, the first time I learned about tantric yoga was actually on Married at First Sight. Claire and Ryan, they did it because they had intimacy issues, even though after the show it turned out that they actually were intimate. But during the show, it was always just like they weren't intimate. But there was one scene where Claire was just like, yo, I'm getting you off, Ninja, you need to get me off too. So there was some intimacy things going on. I think by the end they had sex, but we just didn't know about it until after the fact. But yeah, so that was the first time I was introduced to tantric yoga, and I actually tried to find a tantric yoga studio near me, but they don't have one. And I talked to one of my girlfriends who's a yoga instructor. I was like, yo, do you know about one? And she was like, nah, but I do know about this yoga studio. It's up in DC, and it's like naked yoga. I was like, what the? Thank you. But no thanks. Are they following COVID guidelines? 6 feet apart? Are they cleaning up in there? Girl, I don't know, but I probably won't try that. But I still am interested in the tantric yoga because I wanted to do that with my husband. I didn't tell him about it, but it was gonna be a surprise. But anyway, they did tantric yoga. It seemed like they really liked it. It's the first time that they really got closer. And actually, Jasmina had mentioned she hadn't felt a spark or anything since the wedding, and so that same feeling, that same spark kind of came back when they were doing the tantric yoga. So that was really cool. One thing that happened, I think shortly after that, was Jasmina and Michael kind of talking about the situation, or talking about the experience with tantric yoga. And Jasmina said, y'all listen closely, she admitted that nothing was always completely your fault. Girl, that, my friend, is a breakthrough. That is a breakthrough if I ain't never seen one myself. I said, what? It won't always his fault? So that means if it won't always his fault, that means some of the fault was yours? You don't say. Okay. Well, maybe there's some growth. Maybe there's some hope for them yet. Because I was just like, yo, this is no hope. They're not going to make it. And it's mostly because of Jasmina. And I was so Team Jasmina in the beginning. Because she's such a pretty girl. But just how she's acting on this, it's honestly, I don't even see the beauty in her. No, I don't want to say that. I can't take away from her beauty. But she's acting very ugly. I will say that. Her how she's acting towards Michael, it's ugly. So, ugly inside comes out on the outside. So during their bedroom conversation, when they were first talking, I was just like, please stop talking. Please stop talking. I was so nervous. I was just like, yo, y'all doing good. The last scene was pretty good. Y'all came out of it without any turmoil or anything like that. So yeah, let's keep with this trend of just don't ask no questions. I feel like every time they ask a question, Jasmina be like, what you mean by that? Watch your tone. I don't appreciate that tone. You not listening to me. And so I was I was on edge. I had PTSD for Michael. Oh, but they kept talking. And it ended up okay. It's just whenever they keep saying, well, I think this and I think that, I was just like, well, I think y'all should just stop talking. But it turned out to be okay. And it ended well. I actually like how it ended. She did a little trick, I think, because she was like, high five, because I didn't cut you off. He was like, nah, yo. He said, that needs to happen like consistently for a week of not cutting me off. And he was like, let's do a fist bump. So they did a fist bump. And then she was like, what's that in your hand? He was like, what? And she did a high five. I was like, that was funny. So she has a sense of humor. She has you've seen the playfulness come out in her, but that mean-spirited bit comes out a lot more. So it's like, let's see more of playful Jasmina and less of the bitch Jasmina. Okay? All right. And then we'll be good. So that's the last I have on them. The last couple is Katina and Olajuwon. So their talk with Dr. Viviana, I do appreciate Dr. Viviana giving him the business. She was just like, because O was just like, cooking and food is what I need in a wife. Okay, if that was something that you needed in a wife, then why didn't you put that on your application? Why didn't you put that on your paperwork? Because Pastor Cal, he called you out on that. He was like, you didn't put that on your that did not come up in the interview process. So now all of a sudden, you wifed up. Now you need her to do this, this, and this. Now you got all these expectations of a wife. Yeah, I was just like, Elijah one, And Dr. Viviana was like, what the was you doing before you was married? How was you eating then? He was like, well, I would just pick stuff up. What, pick stuff up now? Dude, she was just like, your antiquated views of marriage. I was like, that is not... She was like, I don't know where you got that from. But if you continue like that, you ain't gonna remain married now, and you're not gonna remain married in the future. And so I was like, you know what, Dr. V? Thank you. I appreciate you. Show him what he's saying. And she even had him repeat certain things. And it was almost like, do you hear what's coming out your mouth? Do you really hear what you just said? And then even how Katina was responding to it. Hopefully he was hearing some of that. It's hit or miss what he hears and takes away from the different scenarios and situations. I really don't know. But I do appreciate Dr. Viviana just like, yo, bruh, this ain't how marriage works. Cooking and cleaning, that's what your argument's going to be about. Let's talk about intimacy. Let's talk about connection. This ain't the conversation no. It's way too many restaurants out here. It's way too many food services out here that you can call upon or subscribe to for that to be your issue. So she wasn't, he was trying to double down and she was like, nope. I don't agree. I'm married and I don't agree. But his brother, I do remember, that kind of reminded me because his brother had said, which I ain't like his brother. But his brother was just like, yeah, he tries to mold females into what he wants them to be. And that's what he was trying to do with Katina. And Katina is like, she's almost, I hate to say she's moldable, but she wants this so bad. And she's down for this marriage so bad that she does try to please him. And so that bothers me it bothers me. It's different in wanting to please your husband. I get that because I want to please mine. You want to please the person that you're with and you're in love with, but the reason behind it for them to love you, it's not. That should not be the reasoning behind it. It's like, she's not feeling like she's enough. And to feel like enough, it's like she has to have his approval. And I'm just like, nah, chick. That ain't where we find our fullness from. Is another person. You got to find that from within. And so just the, I don't know, this can be a whole nother podcast about where do you find fulfillment? Because it ain't in your husband and it's not in Olajuwon. That's what I want to say. But anyway, poor Katina. I just hate seeing her cry. I hate seeing her defeated. Like how he points out all her faults, all her insecurities. That whole I'm not good enough comment, that touched me because there was a while just in my younger age. I act like I'm super old, but in my younger age, I did not feel like I was enough. And so I tried to mold myself to what these men want. And that's not healthy. So I had to get to a point where I loved me, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then I was able to enter into a healthy relationship with that type of mindset. So when, she's saying I'm not good enough, I'm like, yo, that's so triggering to me. So that hurts my heart when she says that. And I just feel like the world beats us up enough. We do not need our spouse to do that. I going out here in the street, being black in America. Yeah. Enough said there. So no, we don't need that at home. I didn't like how he was calling her lazy. I didn't like his tone. Jasmina, that's what a tone is. And then he tried to argue with Dr. Viviana. Did I catch that? Did he really say, no, that's not me? And Dr. Viviana was like, no, I do this this is my profession. This is what I do. And what I'm saying is this is what you're doing. Okay? So she was just like, no, boo. This is what you're doing. I'm calling it out. I'm diagnosing you right now. Shh. Listen. Thank you. You'll learn something from me. But anyway, I think he started crying or getting emotional or something like that. And they meant nothing. Your tears meant nothing to me. I was just like, yeah, here's a tear. Here's a, whatever. But I will say, at some point, he started to articulate. He's like a child, honestly. He's a child. He throws a tantrum and says whatever is on his mind, and it does not come out well. And so I will say, a lot of people don't, and I think men specifically don't know how to articulate how they're feeling. They have a frustrated feeling, but they don't know how to pinpoint what has gotten them there. And so they say all this stuff, a lot of other stuff, and it's not even hitting the root of what it is. So usually when you're angry, you sad, you hurt. Not even sad, you're hurt. So his frustration, there's something underlying. And so he's lashing out at Katina, but he doesn't know how to articulate in words, use words, put words behind these emotions to actually say what he means. But again, to no fault of his own, because I'm not going to blame him for that. A lot of men don't. They're taught to hold in their feelings. They're taught to, be a man up, things like that. Us females, we talk. We got girlfriends. We got mamas. We talk. We we do self-care, self-help. We do all of that stuff. So we are, we're well versed in how to verbalize how we feel. Not all females. Some still have some work to do, but for the most part, we have those outlets of how to get things out that are in, and men don't have that as much as we do. And so that's where you can see that stunted growth. And so with Olajuwon, when he kind of switched what he was saying by the prompting of Dr. Viviana, I was just like, he's frustrated, but there's something else there. And so he was able to get that other thing out. And it was vulnerability. He's just like, I want her to be more vulnerable. I want her to open up. The show could have ended right there. You know how the pastor, he dropped one nugget or read one scripture. You'd be like, yes, that was a word. Drops the mic. You'd be like, sermon over. The show could have ended right there. Because that's what it was. He wants, and he's mentioned this before, he wants her to be more vulnerable. He wants her to be more open. And I'm sure there's some layers there with that to kind of unpack where she coming from and where, why she's not opening up. And it could be a trust thing. It could be so many different things. Who knows? It could be the fact that he's so verbally abusive. That might be it. But anyway, so that it came down to that. And that's why I believe in counseling. Oh, y'all, I believe in some counseling. Because counseling can help you get to that point. When you don't know how to express how you feel, they can talk you through, ask those questions, have you repeat stuff so that you understand and hear what you just said and get to the root of the issue. So his thing was, I want to see more vulnerability. I want to see more openness in my wife. That's the problem. He still keep talking about this cooking and cleaning thing. He need to get over it. But he did get to that point. So I did like how Dr. Viviana kind of talked him through that. Movie night. So they had movie night. Mentioned, he was like, she actually listened to me. I felt that was a backward compliment. You know how somebody compliments you, you be like, hold up. Was you throwing shade at the same time? I don't know. But just the whole, you actually listen. Yes, your wife, she listens to you. And I don't know, just some of the words, maybe it's the way he says them, how he says them and how he words them. It's just off. That's all. It's just a little off. But yeah, he was like, she actually listened. And then Katina even responded in her confessional, I got it right. And so again, I am all for pleasing your spouse. I am all for that. I'm down for that. I love it in general when I give to someone. When I give to someone, especially my spouse or my mom or my brother, sister, friends, whoever, and they're excited about what I gave them. And they're just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I always wanted it, wanted this and blah, blah, blah. That joy from seeing them like excited, it's like, it pumps me up. So I get that feeling. So if that's the feeling she's getting, girlfriend, I am there for you. But somehow I feel like she's more like, yeah, I got it right. I finally got it right for daddy. And that part, I'm just like, Katina, missing the point there. So they both need counseling. Actually, probably everybody on the show needs to go through counseling. Except for Steve, he might be okay because he's super rational. He might can lead everybody in the counseling session. But yeah, so that's the only part about that. I'm happy that she was happy, but just the root of that happiness is kind of the only thing that concerns me. So one of the last things they did, the little basket of fun. So you could tell Katina was having fun. This was like some dominatrix type stuff. So he put like a collar around his neck and had the chain like a dog. So had the little leash. And they had a whip, and so she put that around. She's like, come here, Elijah, come here, Elijah. She be like, come here, bitch. You my bitch now. What? So I was like, yo, she was enjoying that. She had the little whip. She was like, yeah, this for all the time you call me this, you call me lazy. She was like, she meant every single hit. She meant that, and so I'm glad she was able to get out a little bit of aggression. So that was really cool. But that was a fun little scene. They both got into it, and sometimes like I've seen in past seasons where both couples don't get into it. One couple is just like, I don't want to do it, and the other couple's like, the other person in that union or whatever, it's just like, I'm cool with it. So it's good to see them both kind of like go all the way in. So I was just like, that was pretty cool. So that was all I have for them. Then they had the wife outing and then the husband outing. I'm gonna try to get through this really quickly because this video is already going long. I apologize. So with the wife outing, they did like the aerial yoga, which I've never done before. I've seen it is because I was checking out a couple of yoga studios, and a couple of them had that. And in my head, I was like, that looks really dangerous. But watching them do it, it looked really fun. I was just like, oh, I can probably do that and not break my neck. So I want to try that. But anyway, they did that. It looks really, really fun. Lindsay, of course, she started off with, I've done yoga before. I've done aerial before. So of course, this is no problem for me. It's just like, chick, okay. So you've traveled the world. You've had all these great experiences. You just want everybody to know that. We won't pat you on the back. Kudos to you, but don't nobody care. Ugh. So anyway, look fun. At the end, they were talking, and then Jasmina was just like, she said this, and I was like, did you really say this? She was just like, yeah, our problem started because of your mouth. You and your mouth is what I wrote down. She's like, I'm the one chasing and doing the communicating. I'm like, but are you chasing and are you communicating? If we looked up communication in the dictionary, would your picture be beside that? Probably not. Okay? You both need to go to Communication 101. But you definitely need to be at the front of the class. So just her delusional mindset of who she is and what she brings to the table and doesn't bring to the table is crazy. So Jasmine and Lindsay, they both were just like, they missed the wooing. They were talking about do you miss dating? So they were just like, they missed the wooing part of the dating, which I already talked about Lindsay. Mark is just like, she's just trying to survive right now. He's just trying to breathe in, breathe out. That's what he's trying to do. And Jasmina, y'all just trying to learn how to communicate right now. As soon as y'all can communicate right, then y'all can go to the woo. That's communication 102. So let's stay at 101 and we'll get to 102 later. So that was the wife outing, the husband outing. Steve told the guys that he finally dropped the L word. They were all happy for him. I do like how they support each other. That's really cool. They did a little ice hockey outing. They all fell. None of them really skate. So at first Michael was just like, I ain't know how to skate, and so I kept falling. Bruh, you was in good company because every single one of y'all fell. So but that's all I have for you guys this week. I appreciate you listening to my review, and I will be back next week for episode 11. So bye.